Right, guys, let's play some music until we all gather around. Let me know if you cannot hear it. Well, I cannot hear it now. For some reason, this Mercury retrograde, oh my goodness. Let me try to open that folder again and try again. Here we go. Weird. Okay, there is the keyboard now. Here. Wow, I even managed to finish it right on time, everything I was doing. So, hello, 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 Happy New Year. Oh my gosh, it started with a bang. Let's see who is here. Lynn is here in Leo's House Tricks and Deceptions. Steady Woman, hello. Hi, Kathy, good morning. Snow is beautiful. It was not that beautiful digging myself out. Luckily, I'm paying for the service that they clean my driveway. And that was clean, but like my every access to the house was snowed in. So I did a part 1. This is my second shower before and after, and I guess it's going to be part 2 in the afternoon before it freezes because it's -8 in Kentucky. What, you have a snow in Kentucky, really? Hi, Knitting Yogi. She was like, what's going on? Like, and people like, you were not here last week. Well, last week, you see, I don't really probably didn't announce. I was like so burnt out. Literally, last year was really difficult for me. Not difficult in terms of hard, but difficult in terms of things were happening. I really think I need to lower my biological age, which means I need to eat properly. I need to start exercising. And I bought some supplements. I don't know if you heard about of NMN and resveratrol. So that kind of a combination should kind of like lower biological age. We'll see. Very expensive exercise, I have to tell you. Hello, Crystal. Hello, hello. Creative Guru, good morning. So how did everybody do? What did you guys do for New Year's? Today, just to let you know, it's going to be messages, but it's going to be, quote unquote, appreciation of my visitors in live. So that's kind of like where I want to be. And so that's why I'm picking. I'm not so sure what I want. With this one, I'm very familiar with, and this one. But this one, not so much. It's a Star Seed Oracle. So if you guys want me, when I draw the cards from this one, it does have some kind of like a thing, but I'll probably need to read for you. And I wonder if this is going to be long, but probably like, you know, we can make an exception if this is what you want. So basically what I'm thinking, I'm going to use this one for the general sign readings. And so that one I decided, executive decision, but you guys can pick what you want for your cards, because I'm going to draw the cards for each one of you. An additional angel card for my mods as well. And I have the new bag for my angel cards here as well. So what do you want? Do you want this House 5 Tarot? Or you want a Starseed Oracle? You want some other oracle? I have tons over here. Some of them are more fun, some of them are less fun. I don't know what else. What else I have handy. So sort of like I have layers. I have some tarot. Oh my gosh, my dad threw away over 150 decks that they had stored in boxes. Sure enough, there were some old, used and abused, and some of them were like not the ones that they really vibrate with, but still it was a collection that pissed me off to no end. So I have pretty much every Rider-Waite kind of like a thing. I have even before and after. So basically the ones that are really close to me are, of course, all the cat decks, because I'm feeling close to them. Just looking at them over here, I have the Stelima Tarot, all of these different variations that I'm looking. Some of them are very high-end, like the Hermetic Tarot. I have Thoth as well. I have Metatron's messages, but that one is very, very long. Literally, it's like an entire page that I would need to read. I have activations. We can do it once. Activations kind of thing, a Star City kind of a thing. What else do I have here handy? I have Lenormand, I have Kipper, I have Romantic Tarot, I have what do you call it? Celtic Tarot. I have Osho Zen. Any suggestions? Starseed Oracle. I like Housewives Tarot. Wonder why people throw away other people's stuff. That's the funny part. That's my dad never throws anything away. Literally anything. When I did renos on the house, when was it? In 2018, I believe. So like he had these like 30, 35, I don't know when the house was built in 1982. So what was in 2018, right? 36 years old, right? House. So just imagine how dirty those carpets were. Like, I mean, who the heck thought of idea putting carpets in the house anyway? So the guys came and ripped them off, and they were like thin and cheap. So I was putting hardwood, combination hardwood downstairs, laminates upstairs. He insisted that he doesn't want to throw these carpets. Oh, I'll use them. I'll go under the car for Jesus Christ, right? And then he throws away, like, I mean, just a couple of boxes of tarot. He also collects, he goes and buys these Insta coffee, and then he buys boxes and boxes. And yeah, you know that my dad is a hoarder. So when a hoarder throws something away, that's like, yay, celebration. But why my stuff? Kind of like, ew, kind of a thing, right? So hello, you still didn't get your reminder. I don't know, like, I mean, honestly, it was so weird. Yesterday I wanted to play a little bit with YouTube. This is my kind of like a thing, put it on a list. It's kind of really hard to play with these settings because I activate live when I do that. But like, I mean, as I was doing that, I just realized I cannot set up new live, and I can't, it would directly go, but it didn't start, or it didn't start. So thank you to all who actually reach out to me and say what's going on that we have live, because I'm fiddling with this for about an hour, and it was just literally clicking on everything, trying to find somewhere in obscure settings, literally in obscure settings, how to set up on time, because it was not giving me kind of like to schedule anything. Do I have Witch's Wisdom Tarot? I think I do. Let me just see where I put it. Yeah, I didn't use that one in a while. Witch's Wisdom. I have vice versa. Just looking here, I have Attraction Tarot, Raphaelite. Oh, this one is nice. Raphaelite Tarot, also very nice. I'm going to give you some options here. Ugh. This one has really interesting packaging. It kind of like goes really in a Star City way. Let me see, where could that be? Witches. This one is also interesting. And you guys look at me and still not catching up with this that I'm putting on the table. Okay. The other one. Where did it put the Serious Starseed Tarot? Paulina. I'm still looking for the witches. These are the things that I actually haven't used. Some of them are still, as you notice, wrapped up. You know what? I'm not going to look for witches, because it's probably in the boxes that I don't want to dig through right now. But I do have it. Witches. Oh, what is this? Tarot of the Hidden Realm. So let's go through it. You guys have a choice. This one is, I'm trying to remember, the Prisma Visions Tarot. It's kind of interesting artistically, but not so useful. when you read it, but it's visually really nice. So there you go. I don't know if you can see them all here on the table. It kind of goes this way. So have 20 minutes left of watching Disappearance of Maura Murray. Very interesting. Okay, well, join us back. How about a Warlock? I don't have Warlock. Raphaelite is good, yeah. Not you, Cat. I'm using a new device, so it has to be YouTube for sure. Kylie, I tried to and restart this like freaking computer, and my laptop died. I am now in war with HP, which I love their laptops, but I think this might be it. I'm trying to find where is the bill of purchase, because I'm trying to get them to buy me out and we are done, kind of a thing, but I can't find it. Happy 2022. Okay, guys, now when you see what I have over here, let's reach some kind of consensus somewhere. I'm with Chris' suggestion. Well, where is Warlock? I don't have Warlock on the table. Don't pick anything that is not on the table, guys. Just focus, please focus. So we are using this for the general readings, and for you guys, let's pick something up. Let's kind of like do what we want. This is kind of like very artsy. That involves a little bit of astrology. This is interesting because it's a little kind of like round, so it takes a lot of intuitive power to do it. The Wild Unknown, I found it. I still didn't find it. I had a second deck. It just like vanished somewhere. Raphaelite is really beautiful as well. So witches. So we have a witches, Kylie wants witches. So far we have witches and we have Raphaelite. Okay, let's narrow down the choices, guys. And I had for this one, I don't know most of these decks, so I'm forever. Okay, I'm removing these guys, putting them aside so I don't feel inundated with clutter. And you guys, you have 3 choices. You figure out of these 3. So, okay, everybody here, all 7 of you, please put down your choices over here. So this one is more or less like these guys are very much close to regular Rider-Waite. This is using Raphael's paintings. Some people call it cheesy. I really like it. Which is really kind of like has this little scorpionic tint. It's dark. It draws you in a world, and this one is like lots of fun. So you guys go. This one actually never opened, so let's put this one here. I'm going to spray a little bit of rose over here, as you can see it. Just add a little bit of extra love to it. And Starcy goes back to. And here I am. Let's see, where are we? Raphaelite, witches, Raphaelite. So I have like Chris. Let me see. Chris, don't send me links now. Let me see where this tells me. It says, oops, something went wrong on that link. Oh, did you just mess me up now? Oh, I'm back. Am I back? Please let me be back. I'm back. So sorry. What, Jenny? What happened? Where did I miss? Here? Jenny, holidays were a little shocking. My little girl, Paisley grandpa, passed away on Christmas Eve from a heart attack. I'm so sorry for her loss. I was the last person to talk to him, which was Tuesday. Died Friday. But, you know, it was kind of like you have to think about the messages you got. This is so kind of thing. So I think we have a Witch's Tarot as a consensus over here. So let me take this out. So, I hope I put it back in here. Yes, I did. As a part of my let's not have everything in doubles. So we are going to use this for the messages to you, and this is going to be for our general reading. Because this one doesn't have borders, and that's why I like it. You want to see photos of me in the morning in the snow? Well, not so much of me, rather of snow, cleaning it and everything. So we need to cheer up, Jenny. It's the last thing I really need you to think through it, but probably you'll be getting messages over here and something will come to you. So brace for an impact. This is not easy when you kind of like get yourself in that situation, but you know what, it's a natural progression where we need to go, and just that's all there is. Like, I mean, we all now need to remind ourselves that we need to use the time that we have as it's precious. So let's go with that. So where do I start? Okay, so let's start with, it's already 20 minutes in. Let's start with Capricorn. Capricorn, you are going to be first because happy birthday, Capricorn. Isn't this amazing? They always celebrate birthday and New Year, everything at the same time. I better start recording this because of Mercury retrograde. It did happen before. Oh, the configured path is invalid. Isn't this lovely? Let me just start recording it on my phone. That's what I was trying to also find, one of those paths, but it didn't let me. So I can try to record it. What camera health? Oh, maybe it got snowed in. Maybe that's what happened. It's letting me know my security system has issues with cameras. All right, so let me go back here and let's start with Capricorn. Here we go. So let's see. Let's put it somewhere to not to distract us, to just have the clean slate over here. Capricorns. Happy birthday. Where is Barbie? Who is going to monitor? Kylie, can you monitor? Oh, the tower reversed. Oh, what's going on? You're getting a whole bunch of cards, guys. So let's see. You have the tower reversed. You have Three of Pentacles. You have Ace of Cup and King of Cup reversed, but you have a Page of Wands. So this is generally in February, sun covering, kind of like a little bit longer, kind of like a thing. So Warlock, aka Chris, I guess it's a thing, and he sent me a link that for some reason it didn't open. But I'm going to check it later. Actually, let me just save it so I can check. I'm generally not into the Warlock thing. I am actually at the stage getting into softer stage, and I kind of like this. I'm becoming a little bit mellow and kind of like nicer, gentler Bianca. So what do I say about this? That there is like something happening. Something is rattling your cage, if you wish. I don't know if I should zoom this in. I actually did find where the zoom is on that software. Let me just do that. So that way it's not as distant. Configure video. Camera control zoom. Here we go. So that way, for all the other signs, now we have the focus where it is. So what basically I can tell you, the tower generally talks about the situation which is out of our hands, which and it's kind of like a situation that is requiring certain shift. And when that shift basically happens or it doesn't happen, we stay on the path where we are supposed to be, or we are simply completely lost. You know, if you ever driven in a car and maybe you even follow instructions, maybe you even follow GPS, but all of a sudden you find yourself, no, this cannot be right. You start questioning everything, right? Well, this is not like that. This is like you're not questioning anything, but you're lost. And the tower always signifies a shift in attitude, a paradigm shift, where you start seeing the same things differently. What really used to bother you, now you're saying, I see the reason for it. I see why this was really happening, right? So this kind of like talks about there is certain level of not paying attention. And when I notice it happens is like how we perceive ourselves and how other people perceive us, right? So some people are saying like they're like certain kind of like things are um, really kind of like coming to attention, but somehow they're just flying by you. You're really focused on what you want to achieve. There's like maybe a new goal that you guys are setting up, and that goal seems to be more like business or financial or investment. There's like some kind of expertise. It could be studying, a studios thing if you wish, right? So there's like certain things that really is happening, while meanwhile, love wise, you kind of like want everything, but you're very disappointed. It kind of like looks, there's like certain disappointment, like almost like this is giving up. Look, it goes from ace. If you really put it together, this is how it would look. It goes from ace of cups reversed to king of cups reversed, like, right? So you want everything in an instant, and then if I cannot get it, I don't want it at all. Kind of like there is like certain kind of like resignment to the situation attitude, but it's not going to last very long. Maybe you're just simply feeling a little bit sorry for yourself. Maybe you're thinking what you want is unachievable. There's like something really, really happening over there, right? Good morning, Heidi. But then this page of wands shows up, and it shows like some kind of like burst of activity. Like, I mean, this is a Mars principle, and this is Mars principle. So it almost looks like maybe you're kind of like wear yourself out. You want to do too many things, and you go, oh, okay, I need to kind of like relax right now, and over and over and over again. So clearly the message is for you. Really, like it's not much to add. It's adding to 11, right? So it's a 7, 16, 1 and 6 is 7, and 3 is 10, and 1 is 11. Or 20. So it's really asking for cooperation, collaboration. And right now it almost looks to me that you only have patience for certain things that maybe you can even do on automatic pilot. This kind of like is more or less unknown, and maybe this is why you resigned to I don't give a shit kind of like an attitude. But there's like something here that is asking you to look into that, because I think this is really connecting. So, and I really think possibly around Valentine's Day, things are going to turn around. It's going to be some excitement. It's going to be something that you really want to move and forward and kind of like enjoy things ahead, and that everything can actually work out. So stay tuned. I guess you're going to have lots of those January, February messages. I'll be guys doing bi-weekly lives now during the winter. It's just simply for me to kind of like go and walk my dog on the weekends, or just take a week off. So I think I didn't maybe post it. So the next one will be 22nd, so just so you know. But there'll be lots of these January and February messages. So basically almost like for 3 times that I'll be able to do that. So, okay, so let's see who's next. Or maybe I should pick a card for somebody in the meantime. So, okay, where is the thing? Let's just remove Capricorn. So, who was first? Who was first? Who contacted me first? Kylie contacted. So let's put this one in waiting. So that's going to be the one that's going to be next. So Kylie was first, and so let's get a card for Kylie. Card for Kylie. You're getting a little bit more than one. Kylie, you're getting 3 of Swords. You're getting 4 of Cups. So there's like some disappointment. There's like something that is going on. There's like some level of introspection, right? You're kind of like trying to reformat your life, like reform your life. And this really talks about really kind of like maybe revisiting old pains, and just almost like resigning yourself as well, kind of like saying, it's not much I can do about it. Maybe you're even looking at some things that you think that you messed up, and maybe thinking how to, this is the Mercury retrograde, kind of like when we look into our own faults from the past. But look at that, like there's like something that is going to come through, that is going to show as the way out. And that for you could be kids, it could be family, it could be simply a new enterprise of some sort. The sun is good. The sun brings healing to this entire situation. So I would say all's good, and kind of like just bear and grin the situation that is going to occur, but let's start moving forward. Yay, Kylie. So in the intermission, next time I'm picking up Kylie because she kind of like contacted me yesterday, and then Lynn contacted me yesterday, then Knitting Yogi was the third. So just tell you like the order so far, and then we are going to go how we go. Oh, Barbie's not here. Probably she also got confused. Oh my gosh, when do we start? When do we don't start, right? So that will be Libra. Let's put Libra here, and let me go and see you here. And I think she's probably watching the documentary. So haha. Libra, you're getting also Page of Wands. Oh, she heard it. Okay, welcome. Welcome. Oh, this one wants to come out. You have Page of Wands. You have King of Swords. You have Ace of Pentacles. So Libra, all is well. What can I tell you, right? This is all good. Like, I mean, almost like if I have to do a generic reading for somebody, and I have to say to somebody, hey, everything is going to work out well. You're going to be enthusiastic about things. You're going to have a balanced approach. You're going to know how to use the proper words and when, which is the Libra coming through, and you will know which elements to take to kind of like have this like long-term growth. This is what is going to be, right? And this is what is turning up over here. So Libras are going to, which is kind of like unusual because Libras are Venus oriented and Venus like very cozy things. So usually winter doesn't really appeal to Libras. So this is very interesting over here. It is really showing up, right? So that's what I see over here with Ace of Pentacles to boot, the very last one, which tells me there is like something that you need to pay attention, or you need to start during this months of January and February, because that something is going to be so powerful that is going to take you in decades of progress, decades of some work, decades of going into something, and that is very, very, very important over here. Thanks, Creative Guru. So that was our Libra. So let's see. So the next one I said it's Lynn. Lynn, I'm going to do it for you, but I'm going to do this one first. So this one is going to be here. Let me remove Libra's thingy here, and oh, and I didn't put the Libra stamp. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Let me just give it a guess. Over here. Put a question mark next to it. So Lynn Westbrook. Lynn, you have 8 of Pentacles and you have Page of Wands. So this is clearly telling you that yes, you're going to get a swift energy coming through. There's going to be something that is going to feel enlightening. I like the crows. Like I have a family of crows that I am feeding, and Tiger is very jealous. He goes out and eats all their bread, and I shouldn't be really feeding them with bagels, but you know, it is what it is. So this really tells me that you need to pay attention to some kind of details. The details are really important before starting something else. That there's like something that is going to overwhelm you, that is going to be some enthusiasm in you in order to change things, in order to go in a new path with this Page of Wands. But you really have to make sure that you have all the like I dotted and T crossed, because you might get lost on this path and that whole exuberance can just go to waste, which Page of Wands is amazing. He literally has the really hot pepper up his behind. So just keep in mind, like whatever you need to do, whatever you need to finish, do you need to finish some correspondence? Do you need to address some legal matters? Do you need to, this is kind of like more or less domesticated kind of like a things. So anything like that that needs to happen, please do that. And like, you don't have actually that much time for that. It's really telling you that sort of like in the next 8 weeks you need to handle it, or else it's going to come back to you. So that is very, very important to kind of like assess from that perspective. So the next sign we'll have is Scorpio. Scorpio. Do you have any Scorpios over here? Please raise your hand if you are in the house. So let me just put your I have to watch how I write this, otherwise like when I upload this it just goes nuts, like it just doesn't want to collaborate at all. So let's put Scorpio icon over here so we know where it is. So Scorpio, Jenny, I have cross and I have, oh, that's very sweet. I'm starting to like them, even their little croc kind of like a thing. So we have here 6 of Pentacles reversed with 9 of Wands. I have a feeling somebody might be coming into your life, and that somebody might be Sagittarius, or somebody born in the earth sign. It's kind of weird. I'm looking at this, how they made an error with numbers. Sorry, this is my graphic design background. Oh, look at this. You have 2 6s. There's like something really, really intense from the background coming back. This could be a lover as well. Doesn't have to be necessarily Sagittarius. Or it could be simply that you are processing some energy of somebody who has been very meaningful to you. It could have been other people. It could have been children that came in a way. In particular, there are like 2 different occurrences or 2 different instances, or even that somebody has 2 children that was like somehow very relevant. I don't know why you're not in peace with some situation like that. There's like this 4 of Swords, which kind of talks about a gratefulness and peace, but it's in a reversal for some reason. So it is really interesting with these 2 6s. There is somebody who was actually extremely meaningful to you, somebody with whom you really kind of like wanted to go further, but everything turned out to be just some kind of like a fling, I would say, no more than that. And that is really showing up clearly, right? There is highly spiritual note over here. It has this like flavor of 7 vibration that happens, and 7 is always kind of like reminding us that we have to go inside and see what we need to process inside. This to me is very, very interesting that you guys have it, right? So that is a Mercury retrograde will really shaking you in your boots, and it's going to be really different. I know Scorpio is like always, yeah, bring it on, I can take it. It's just like, wow, kind of like, you want me to go very deep, you want to go very high, I'll do it, right? It's just kind of like they're willing and able to put themselves through extremes. But there's going to be something that is not going to even be extreme, that is going to kind of like shake you up, and it's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be a subtle emotional shift, but it's going to be very interesting, and I'm really going to think it's going to change you quite a bit, or has changed you already. You're just integrating all the lessons that have been learned there. So that's kind of like very, very important to know. Hello, Maria. Hello, Heidi. Happy New Year. Hopefully everybody had a great New Year. So the next one, as I said, is knitting yogi. And from that point on, I'll really have to go with just picking you guys over there, what it is. So let me remove that Scorpio over here. Let's prepare the next one over here. Well, I don't know, whatever this one is. So knitting yogi, let's get knitting yogi. Oh, your cards are jumping through. So you have a Queen of Swords and you have a 9 of Cups. So it almost looks like in order for you to be happy, and you didn't update me about that last thing you and I talked about, if you went to proceed with this. So it will be really interesting. Probably nothing really happened if you didn't let me know, but you never know. So Queen of Swords is like, it's executive decision, right? I really like that she's actually having a lavender over here in her lap. And almost, oof, look at the shoes. Come on, the shoes. Is it going to, it's not going to zoom in, but trust me, they're really good shoes. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit like, I mean, partial to it because I like turquoise. It's kind of like my queen and everything. But this mountain here also, I don't know if you are looking at it that way, almost looks like what do you call it? Jesus. I can't think about it. This big wave. What is it called? With T. Oh, the word is like escaping me. Not tornado, not typhoon. Guys, help me. So anyway, almost looks to me there is, and she's holding it like that. So she's kind of like saying, bring it on as well. But she kind of like cuts it through, right? And so it's also a little birdie over here. They're like messages. They're like small little things. But it almost kind of like the first thing that I thought about when I saw it, I was thinking, kind of like, I just don't even know. It almost looks like that you're cutting certain things. Tsunami, that's right, Heidi. That you're cutting certain things off in order to kind of like be happy, in order to kind of like reach your peace. And this is kind of like interesting piece because she's just doing it to yourself, for herself, what she likes. And these kind of like times in our lives are really important, that we need to remind ourselves that we actually don't need other people for our happiness, that we can fully enjoy them. So in Nine of Pentacles, the lady enjoys all of the goodies that life has brought her, but she simply is happy. Like, it shows that you really don't have to have a big riches in order to be happy. Just a glass of wine, some nice cauldron will do. So that is very, very interesting over here to kind of like know, right? So no news on the other front. Okay, so maybe Queen of Swords also means leaving something behind. In the case, it's a really sharp decision. It's kind of cutting something off or being ready to verbally address something, right? So that's going to be very interesting. So now what I want to see is who's next. Who's next? The next one is Sagittarius. Do we have any Saggies over here, guys? I love good shoes. Oh my gosh, who doesn't like good shoes? It just like puts you in a good mood, right? Right away. So let me just put Sagittarian's icon up there and I'll be right back. See, I finally figure out where to keep things in order not to be overly messed up when I have to do it. So here we go. Sagittarius. And it's nice and sunshine outside. It's cold, but I think Tiger love to have his walk afterwards. Even though you should see him going in the snow. Initially I was like, no, I don't need to pee. I don't need to do anything. It's just open the door and there's the snow. So, Sagittarians, you have Page of Wands, and you have a Death. Did I not tell when I was reading Scorpio? You guys go and check Scorpio in 36 minutes. This is something maybe connecting with them or connecting with some kind of ending. There's like something that is painful that is going on, and you're addressing this really head on. And I really think there's like somebody coming to you with maybe unreasonable request, right? It's really interesting because the Seven of Cups is always like that card when you want, you know, cake over bread kind of like thing. So it is a 21, right? 21 is like finito, finality, accomplishment of a sort. Maybe you're looking at something that you have done, because keep in mind that January and February will be really strong Mercury retrograde. I guess you have seen, guys, how much from the small things like my YouTube affecting to my motherboard or my laptop just like dying, to communication with HP is pretty much non-existent. They are not replacing the thing under warranty. They want to give me something crappy, and then they agree they're going to give me something new, and then they backtracked. It's just a blooding thing, and this is like really bad when this happens during Mercury retrograde. So for you, because you are upright, because I see here the situation almost like that you're observing somebody who is in pain. And that's kind of like where it worries me a little bit, where you just don't want to deal with this. It's just like, it looks like, hey, you know what, you did it to yourself. You had the expectations that were unrealistic. It is kind of like really, really weird, right? um, it is very, very interesting that maybe there's like something you have dealt with. Maybe somebody is coming back in your life. You guys, Sagittarians, you will probably know better. You can shed a light on it, what it is. But it could be also that you're going to go deep in your own psyche. And when you do, that you will be maybe unearthing something that is painful over there, that you didn't process somebody, but it's going to be really, really deep. And maybe you're going to ask yourself, what in the world I want? Because that is like clear message over here, right? And it's also something about sex that is connecting over here. And it was like a situation that was like highly charged, right? So it either was some kind of like high reaction, or I don't know why I'm also picking up an affair over here of some sort, or somebody doing something behind somebody's back. You know, like it just like doesn't look like it was a situation that involved lots of trust. So there is like either the finality that you're reaching in a situation, or there's like somebody who wants quote unquote closure and approaching you and kind of like want to deal with you in that way or in that respect. So that's going to be interesting. So Kylie says, yeah, keeping out the sibling drama triangle. That's always really, really good to know, right? So let's do it. So Maria, and your Aquarius, Scorpio, Gemini, or the kind of like the signs that you are interested in already. So let me remove this one here. I'm going to prep the next one. And I have to go and see. Now I'm going to go in order of appearance today for the ones that I didn't pick the cards. So let me scroll back. Knitting Yogi, I got you. I got you, Lynn, I got you. I'll first go the mods and then I'll go the rest. So guys, mods are here each and every week. I love you to death and I appreciate you. But I'm going to get cards for you, Steady Movement, Crystal Smith. So you just have to wait for your turn. So the next one is Kati Cepas. And you're getting one. You're getting the lover, and this one also wants to come out. You're getting lovers in the Four of Cups. So what is it? Which one is it? Kathy, what is your sign? Are you some kind of Taurus, or are you some kind of Gemini? Because it looks to me there is like, yay! Well, tired now. Kind of like you want something, you want something, you want something badly, and then, you know, it's not what I thought it would happen. So there is a clearly a new start. There's a clearly new beginning. It almost looks like you are not enthused in kind of like jumping in. You are not maybe hopeful. Four of Cups means that you feel it's the same old, that you are the one who is in your own way. So there's like something for you kind of like to think, and there's like something for you to address. So just keep this in mind. So that's really important. Look at who showed up. Madame Barbie. Barbie, I have to do you next. As an honor master moderator, like she's always keeping us all organized, me too, and kind of like flowing. Come on, Kat, let's be on time, let's do this, let's do that. So let me get a sip. I got myself some Montpellier Citron. So I don't know if you guys drink this kind of like water. It's not the best habit, but because it has apparently lots of natural salt, but I like it. At least it's not Diet Coke, which I otherwise drink, which is really, really bad for you. Okay, which one is next? Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house, so this Mercury retrograde is in Aquarius, and you can see what kind of like body mess I'm going through. You guys don't want to be you don't wish to be Aquarians. I really have to tell you, in the next live, do pick something else. I'm just telling you as the nicest way I can tell you. It really makes you do the weird things, and you don't know why you're doing it. Like your life is just fine and nice, and then go, you know, let's see what happens if my deck burns. It's just like, it's so freaking weird being Aquarius. So Now, combine that Uranus unpredictability with Mercury retrograde. What can go wrong? So Barbie, hopefully Kylie or somebody's going to tell you how am I doing today. But in short, what I'm doing is it's Moderator Appreciation Day, but it's also Live Appreciation Day. So all of you are going to get in between the readings, cards pulled. I'm also going to do the doors and separately, and I'm also going to do in the end specifically angel cards just for the mods. So let's start. I kind of like want to encourage you guys to not encourage you, just I don't want to bribe anybody. You notice this, like kind of like don't play this social media game. But what's going on here for Aquarians? Oh my god. Yikes. But if anything else, I am glad to see this rather than something else. So Barbie, when I finish Aquarius, I'm going to do the reading for you. Just in short. So Page of Pentacles reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, and then 5 of Swords reversed. So I'm already seeing a pattern. So pages are to me almost like aces. They're almost like some kind of beginning. So there's like some kind of healing, and there's like also some kind of a futility of some sort that we are kind of like really looking into this, right? So Page of Pentacles is the very studious one, and it's some what? Who showed up? Come on, who showed up? Really? Yes, you know Aquarius is being read, don't you? Hello, Sophie girl. Oh ho, Chef. Can I see the cards now? Yes, you come here. You come here. You come here. Yes, you come here. Love you, love you, love you. So, 5 of Pentacles is usually about the struggle. It's about getting your point across and kind of like how you do it. It's like that game of push and pull. Like, I mean, when you kind of read about the background of this card, all of these guys are representing different religions, and all of them are thinking only there should be kind of like listened. So how do you kind of like make yours to stand out? Are you going to kill everybody to make this happen, or are you going to kind of like set the boundary, or is everybody going to set the boundary, say, okay, up to here it's me, and then whatever is a space, and so on and so forth. So the 5 is always like, 5s are always nervous energy, right? In numerology, if you're born under number 5, you're very curious about many things, and that kind of like makes sense here. But that curiosity here, I don't think it's lack of curiosity just because it's reversed. It is there, but maybe Aquarians is putting too much on their plate. And I really have to tell you, for my own life, I'll have to go to the university and study French right now. And even though I started and I was very enthusiastic about it, now I feel like almost like that I've forgotten everything. And even though I tested like intermediate, which is maybe adding that extra pressure, instead of like really listening the course and updating, I'm just like, I don't want to do it at all. So it's going to be interesting. And I also have to learn 2 different systems, rather to say, than programs. Something that is called Webflow, which is like for how basically update the website's backend, and this is all happening at the freaking same time. So I can see this here, feeling overwhelmed kind of like situation. So whatever that is in your life, that one is actually good when it reverses. So 5 of Pentacles is a win. It's not a great win. It's not the win what you want to put on TV and celebrate or brag about. It's a win where you simply take advantage of a situation because you could. It's a little child that has lost mommy's necklace, and you grab the necklace. Yeah, you found it, but is that really a win, right? So when this reverses, like, it's kind of like there is an analysis of your own wrong ways, of your own cutting corners, and kind of like really looking deeply in it, right? There's like really something that is really happening. That's right, it's, yay, Barbie, it's Chris's birthday. He's like a real Christmas baby, so he has probably all his holidays are made for him. Sorry, Chris, I completely forgot about that. This is kind of like how I'm like trying to dig myself out of the snow this morning. So talking about that, let me just show you what I did this morning. Kylie and I were talking last night, and I said, "Ooh, the snow is starting to fall," and you know, it was about 30 centimeters, a foot of the snow. So I was like, kind of like, what do I do? So where are the pictures? So that's the morning, and Tiger is like, what, do I have to go out? Do I really need to do that? So I don't know if you can see it here, that, you know, when the snowplow, cities of snowplow went through, it was really hard to figure out how much snow this is by the plow, but I was estimating about 50 centimeters, which is just a little bit less. Oui, je vais bien. So these are the plows, and these are the ones that we pay additionally to kind of do the thing. And then it started to sink to me that this is actually much more than 40 centimeters. It's probably 60 or even more. So this is about 2 to 2.5 feet. So it was also wind, and you can see even windows on the second floor covered in ice flakes. Why did I put the music on? I don't know. That was not me, but I guess it did it. Oh, I think, oh, look at that. It just like does the whole scene for you. And that's lovely. That's something to explore. I think I pressed on a single shot because all look the same. So this is kind of like where the guy came across. Usually they come within 20 minutes of the city plow. So they didn't, and I guess because the storm was like really, really bad. So here he's coming to my driveway. You can see him cleaning. Thank God, otherwise I'll be digging myself for 2 days out of it. So, oh, you got the same in Maine? Oh my God, look at that. So that was it. Look at this. I just like think it's amazing. And then all the snow was just like, no, can you see much higher, right? So there we go. Like you're trying to get Tiger to go and get his pee-pee and feed the birds. That's the bagel, like raws.
Don't you need to pee-pee poo-poo?
And there he is. What do I do?
Don't you need to pee-pee poo-poo?
And there he is. He's like, I'm not going very far. I'm just going to do it here. There is like a pee-pee going on. Then he waited about half an hour, and then he really had to go. And this was hilarious. He's like, okay, I am really not enthusiastic about it, but I must go. I must.
Jump in.
That was like initially no. And so, yeah, this is like how it looks like after cleaning. Thank God for that. But this is my deck. It's all covered in everything. And there he is now going. Look at his poor thing. It's really deep. It pretty much goes to the end of his back. I didn't think he would be able to come back. So he was plowing the snow, and you can hear the crows eating their little bagels over there. It's like through the windows. And there he is, like Puppy enjoys himself outside. So that was me. I had to really dig out my car, which looks like a combi or something, a van, but it isn't. It's just a regular car. So that's the house, and this is the snow. So this is like the whole point is like it looks like you can walk on it, but it's like 2 to 2.5. Look at how deep that really is. So there it is. I'm trying to undig my car over here, and I created a little path toward the entry. I don't know if you can see it here. And there he is. The boss is here. Look how he's trying to grab through it. So that is it. That is basically just showing you my morning. And so did manage to back out clean and back out the car. So yay, I'm back in business and kind of like doing the stuff. So I did it during Aquarius because that was Aquarius morning. And this is kind of like also kind of like was very prominent in me. Oh, should I have a coffee right now, or should I go out and plow the snow? And it's procrastination is really not part of my makeup, but I can see also these cards as procrastination. So that is very, very important over here, Aquarius, to know that you need to reignite some kind of like inner passion or something that maybe was there and now it isn't, or there is some kind of barrier. There is like some kind of issue that has been happening of some kind of like, for some reason, right? So in Southern Ontario, yes, and in Western New York, your Peace Bridge neighbors have lots of snow. Yeah, I didn't even check what's happening in Toronto, but they were shocked my friends when I showed them the pictures. So it's really, yeah. And then Kylie was telling me last night we have like this flooding. So, but apparently this is normal. Just don't think this is like abnormal for where I live. This maritime provinces next to Atlantic, and we are supposed to be affected with Gulf current, but we still get this much snow. So let's remove the Aquarius and let's see who is next. Who's next over there in line? Oh, Barbie's next. Barbie's next. I forgot you, Barbie. 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 Oh, there's one. You're getting 7 of Swords. Barbie, you need to beware. Oh, this one. You're getting a shadow side. Mercury retrograde, by the way, and now you're Libra, and of course it's going to affect you because it's in Aquarius and Capricorn. The Aquarius and Capricorn are pretty much first one in front of the plow truck, and then are all the other air signs and all the other earth signs. Sort of like we are going to feel the brunt of it, right? And I can see that here, right? I can see that somebody is playing games on you. There's like a push and pull of some sort. It's just like you're going to be made to do things. Only later you're going to realize it's like how they pull the strings. It's not natural. It's not that something was just a flow of events. It was just because somebody was triggering certain events to happen. And these two things are really not good when they come together. They're not even good individually, but together, really, really not good. And I think there's like something from the past. I'm wondering if you have something in the past that kind of like you felt maybe sad that it's finished, but you were at the same time relieved, you know? And that's kind of like how the shadow side, the devil side show up. And I really think this is showing that Mercury retrograde. This is also Moon Aquarius. So I can see that Mercury retrograde really working on you because that also is Mercury retrograde card over here, 6 of Cups. That you're going to feel some kind of like melancholy or nostalgia and hey, you know, the past has been better. Something like that is going to be really prominent over here over the next few months. So you also need to really, really beware of jumping in situations where it feels like it's so much better solution than what I had figured out so far, because it might turn out to be just a shiny new thing that is actually not productive in the end. So that's going to be very important to know. So, marionette show from Sound of Music. Oh, interesting, Chris. That sounds right. Like, I'll just catch up with you first. Let's see. Capricorn Libra. Thank you, Creative Girl, for following through Jenny. 1224, the day of complex emotions meditation. Does the dog wag the tail? Does the tail wag the dog? Interesting. Kylie that qualifies as a heart. That was for Barbie. I think we get caught up. So the next one is Pisces. Pisces. Oh. My boss is Pisces, so that's going to be really interesting learning more about Pisces. And so far, I can see that all she wants is for everybody to be happy. She absolutely hates people separating in silos. She kind of like really wants things to flow, and it's kind of like really interesting to so far watch a really positive side of Pisces. But I have my backup. Kind of Pisces can be very interesting. Let's put it that way. So Pisces, let's see what I get here for you. Pisces, you need to stay alert, Barbie. Absolutely. Be careful. Absolutely look at the full moon. And that's something that is going to be happening right now. Is for you, it's going to also culminate somewhere in the summer. So that's going to be interesting. So we have the Empress over here, Pisces reversed. We have the Four of Swords, and then we have Queen of Pentacles. like, look at them when you see them together. They almost look identical because the Queen of Pentacles is the most similar to the Empress, which is weird because the Empress is the Venus ruled principle, right? And Queen of Pentacles is kind of Capricorn over here. So it almost looks like that there is like feeling of some kind of disturbance of your peace, and you are just saying, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to rest. I'm going to feel and place. I'm going to be rested and restful of some sort, because this is like gratitude and giving thanks. But you really need to withdraw. You really need a peace for yourself. You really need to deal with this. And Queen of Pentacles, it could be also you, and this could be you, or it could be just simply two different women coming your way. And both of them have like some attitudes about, so it might cost you, for starters, financially. It might feel like, why do they think that they deserve this? And I don't kind of like afford these things for me, but they kind of like are asking this as if it's a normal thing. So it's going to be certain observation that you're going to make, which is going to be really interesting. Also, it's 7. It's literally, we have 7s and 1s, right? Did you notice this? It's either like message, hey, you need to start moving forward, or you need to go introspective, which is interesting because this card on its own is introspection, but now also that 7 message is like, you need to move forward after the introspection. Kind of like there's like a double message here coming for you. Smoking salmon, that's really interesting. Well, I'm cleaning snow later, so I can put salmon in the snow so I can have a big fridge outside right now. It's also -8 or something. So Pisces, I would just say over here that you need to really check motives of the people coming your way. And it is going to be very, very important, right? Because these people, and I'm telling you right now, their motivation is just simply self-driven. There's no need for them to get what they want, and you're just going to be tired. And usually this happens. It looks to me you're kind of like bearing through it, like you're just grin and bear kind of situation. So this could be your family. So if you are male Pisces, this could be a wife, or it could be ex-wife, or a girlfriend. There's like, or a boss or something. There are people who have power over you, and I guess this is why you're not cutting it off. There's like no Queen of Swords over here saying, I'm fed up with this, I don't deal with this. It's rather kind of like, okay, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get sufficient amount of rest, and I'm going to be dealing with that. So that's kind of like what we need to do this. All right, so there we go. So Barbie, so let's see who is the next sign. First I need to remove this one thing at a time. So now when this is all working, it's so much easier. So I'm going to prep the next one. Oh, the doors. Oh, see, Barbie is like on schedule 1, 2. Ooh, she's right on schedule. So doors, let's do it with this one, guys. And let me hide this so I can shuffle this and have the things. So where is this? That's not it. Which one do I do it? I don't have that. Huh? Where is it? I don't even think this one is the one. So I'm just going to cover it with this one for now. Yeah. Let's cover it with the snow. All right, guys. Doors number 1, doors number 2, door number 3. So let's see. Ask yourself a question that you want to have answered. We are in the beginning of the year. Especially questions would really be helpful right now that deal with something that has started in the past, that maybe you need to have it finished. You want something to be, accomplished or resolved. Okay, so let me cut the deck in 3 piles, and then we are going to read the bottom card. I'm going to remove this. Forgot to put, of course, forgot to put the timestamp. Let me just do this for a second. 10930. I'm trying to be as neat as possible in my things. So if you wanted the door number 1, and like, well, all of a sudden this is all weird. you're getting Nine of Pentacles, and that's kind of like what I wanted. I wanted certain kind of like things to finally reach conclusion, and they are. It's like ta-da right here. This is accomplishment, this is enjoyment, and there's like also a financial reward over here. So it's really, really interesting. Well, Barbie, salmon doesn't taste too fishy if it's fresh or if it's smoked. So that's what I learned from some fish gurus. This is only stuff that we get refrigerated that smells fishy. So yay for you guys if you also pick number one. Kylie picked number one. This is kind of like all working out. There's like some sense of accomplishment over here. So number two is strength. This is also a big yes. If you ask for commitment, if you ask for collaboration, cooperation, this is a big resounding yes. On the smaller scale, this would mean kind of like reworking the situation, lots of communication, and lots of kind of like doing things around. And the door number three, oh, they're all positive, this Queen of Wands. So you are the master of your own destiny, kind of thing, I would say that. It's just the caveat and advice is don't put everything out in the open. Keep certain things hidden and kind of like build in some protections in the meantime. And that is what is going to be very, very, very helpful going forward. Already, part two. And I think I'm right on time, except the sunshine is going to glare right in my face. I'll have to do something about it, possibly soon. I'm just trying to, I'm moving around. I did order the rollerblade for it, or blind rather to say, but it's going to take a month for it to be done. It's a custom. So then it's going to, when we have Taurus, we have Tauruses. Okay, who is a Taurus? Who has a Taurus ascendant? Or any kind of like an inner planet Taurus. Very, very important. Let me put the stamp over here. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Look at that. I was literally picking up the signs that were just pretty much the bottom part of the thing. So now we are going to go kind of like the first signs that are in order. So Taurus, it is your time. Let's put your thingy here. See, when I get enough sleep, I can actually think on several layers simultaneously. Okay, so let's see Taurus. Taurus. You're getting cards coming through. Did I put that Taurus? Yeah, I did. Taurus rising, and there is a lot. We have Taurus is rising. Okay, so let's see. So what you guys have, you have Six of Pentacles, then you have Queen of Wands, and you have like 10 of Wands. These are all very good cards. Again, there's like a little bit of Mercury retrograde, and again, there's a little bit of the Tower-like energy, right? And the Tower needs to shift certain things. And I really think where is this going to display in your life is going to be that there's like somewhere where you have been very giving, and maybe there's like something that you just keep on going and keep on doing, and there's like now awareness that you have overdone it, or that maybe there is not needed, or that you're questioning this, or you're going to pull some kind of financial support of a sort, or you're going to be more measured. You're going to ask, what am I getting for it? It's going to be very interesting. Again, is this Queen of Wands, which I think is going to be you guys, which is going to be dealing and wheeling and sorting things out and figuring things out. So this kind of talks about transparency, right? On the upper situation, this is a difficult card, carrying our burdens and going in different directions, not knowing how we can deal with that, or not knowing what is ahead of us. And here this comes to some kind of clarity, it comes to truth, and comes to understanding that certain things are not sustainable anymore. So you're actually really asking yourself how to move forward, and what has been burdened to you. Maybe it's just going to stop being burdened, or you're going to pull out your support in a situation. So that is going to be very important over here in the upcoming couple of months. This also kind of relates to Mercury retrograde. It's going to be covering things with finances. So anything that you are going in minus, and anything that was tanking you will kind of like pull out and you're not going to be in that situation. I also have to tell you that some people are not going to like it, but they will simply, which is kind of interesting for later, because it's not going to be any, let's say, open disagreement and open argument, even though you have that tower somewhere in the background. So why I said it's going to come back later is because they will mull over how to reconfigure themselves and how to come back to kind of like claim what they think they lost, where maybe it was not theirs in the first place. So that is going to be very important to kind of like know in the future. So very, very important over there. So let me pull the next one here. And now let's see. Oh, did I read it? No, I didn't. So let me just see who is next over there. Who is next? I did Kathy, I did Lynn, Kelsey. Kelsey is next. Okay, Snowy, Kentucky. Hi, Kelsey, are you still here? Please raise your hand. Kelsey. I'm getting one. Oh, you're getting Six of Cups. Also, Mercury retrograde is going to be some kind of nostalgia going on. It's going to be, it's really interesting. You have a Three of Pentacles and then you have a Four of Cups. It's almost like that it's going to feel a little bit zigzaggy for you the upcoming period. It's going to be something emotional, fulfilling. Maybe you're going to spending time on Facebook or listening to the old music that you used to like when you were in high school, something like that, which is going to kind of like really encourage you to kind of like maybe revisit certain dreams that you had back then at that period of time. But almost like as quickly as those dreams kind of come, you're going to feel a little bit disappointed. You're going to feel a little bit disillusioned, or maybe you're just going to give up. So you need to listen to that little voice that is in you, or maybe you're going to even have a person being your muse, or being like somebody who's going to be really, really kind of like pushing you forward and saying, okay, you know, maybe it's not that wow factor, but you just have to pick anything to kind of get going. So it's going to be the matter of choices for you, or something that you will really want, and then it's going to feel like, well, if I cannot get that, I don't want anything, and that's kind of like the wrong answer in the situation. You really need to kind of like think through that, right? So that's important. Hopefully that helps. And so that's for Kelsey. Oh, I actually got two. So, okay, this one is already in hand, so let's go with this one. Oh, it's Leo. Leos and Leonesses. And let me just put your stamp over here. And then you put your little kind of like furry icon on the other side. So, how are Leos? Leos had unbelievable, if you remember, good yearly horoscope. So that was really, I'm going to be really monitoring actually that sign this year. So anybody who wants to be happy, chase Leos. I really have to tell you, this is going to be really their year. So let's check Leos. Everybody's going to get a few cards today. It is like, I mean, live visitors appreciation day. So it just, guys, you need to wait for your turn. Welcome, Kelsey. Leo. You have Six of Swords reverse. Coming back to some old troubles, old issues. Holy moly, I was just telling about how great basically thing you'll have, but this is really interesting, right? So something is middle of the road happening, so something is not in the beginning stages and something is not in the final stages, almost like in that je ne sais quoi space where you don't know what's going to happen, in vacuum, as they say, right? So look at this, it's kind of adding up to 15. Maybe you're doing something, maybe there's a third party situation, maybe you're not committed to your work as you should be, maybe you're not committed to your relationship as should be, maybe you really didn't resolve situation and you think that somehow magically it's going to resolve itself, and yet it keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. Maybe you're settling for less, maybe you are not allowing yourself to to be that Leo and that lioness over here. Because look at it, the Six of Swords is just basically saying, and I was just saying somebody in a reading yesterday that actually my role in the spirituality world is basically of this guy, whatever we call him in English, whatever is the word for this boatman. I don't know if that's the proper one. I think it's the better word for it. It's somebody who carries people or who tells people kind of how to cross on the other side, but that don't guarantee people what's going to happen there. They still have to fend for themselves, right? Because these people have troubles, and sort of like I tell them how to plug the holes temporarily, and it's really important. It's like a band-aid in order to heal, to move forward. But this means that somebody is coming back to the situation for one reason or another. They're coming back and they're being very, very guarded. It is really making me think that there is like a third-party situation, or there is like a situation that is very hidden of a sort, or something that is not accepted. Or because whenever I see this card, because it's really interesting. See, look at this, the window, it's closed, the church is closed, the two of them are really wounded. It's almost like as much snow as we have it outside. It's not fun being barefoot at all. I mean, poor Dogo doesn't like it. But now this window becomes the door. Now the door can be accessed, can be opened. So they should look for the other opportunities. But it's also talking about kind of like seeing things, why certain things have been made certain way, maybe demanding that certain things go mainstream, maybe demanding that everything is becoming transparent of some sort, maybe even putting certain things to an end in order to accomplish this, in order to kind of like clean yourself from some kind of situation. It's really interesting. It's almost like you're coming back to resolve certain things. They are all minors, so it's not a really something that you cannot redirect or rework. You can. However, it's going to be a couple of months full of some kind of like annoyance, if you wish. So that's important. Hey, Kelsey, I got my COVID booster. Now I have 3 different vaccines. AstraZeneca first, Moderna second, and Pfizer third. And apparently, the more the merrier, the more you're protected. We'll see. It's just crazy what's happening in Ontario. It's just, I don't want to be there. Like, it's so bad. So let's see which one is going to be next, so you can guys prepare. But before I read this one, which is going to be Gemini, I am going to read one person. I just have to figure out who is next over here. So let me retrack over there. Whoa, we have 20 viewers. That's great. I like it. So let me see some. First, guys, letting you know how I'm going through this. I'm giving preference to moderators. So when I do all the moderators in the order of appearance, not necessarily just on live, but also the ones who contacted me prior live. But I'm already going on this list here. So the next one here will be Lorna H. So when I'm done with all of that, I'm going to go to those others of you who show up. And if you show up sufficient amount of times on live, I make you the moderator with helping Barbie and helping onboarding of the new people. And there you go. Then you get extra bonuses as well. So who did I say? It's going to be Lorna H. Let's see, Lorna H. She's one of our newer moderators. Okay, Lorna, let's see what we have here for you. I have the Temperance reversed. This one wanted to come out, and these two wanted to come out. So you have Temperance reversed, you have Six of Cups, you have Queen of Swords, and you have Justice. Like, you see the similarities between these two cards. So again, Mercury retrograde is coming to play. Temperance is clearly talking about that something from the past is not workable, it's not doable, that you really need to cut the cord, and that cutting the cord is going to bring you good fortune. It's so simple to read. This is almost like if somebody put the words and I have to put a sentence together, almost like my French classes, like you get the shuffled words, you have to put it together. But this is really important because you think that something still can be doable. So the moment when you realize that certain nostalgia or certain affinity that you have towards somebody, that's all there is, it's always there, ever will be, then you are able to make this executive decision and say, okay, you know what, just leave it as a memory, leave it this way, because I'm always going to have it this way. I'm not going to spoil that memory. I'm not going to spoil that situation. So it's kind of like really important to kind of like look in this direction. I really like this because this is a karmic card, which tells me that you are almost earning some kind of like brownie points, that you are resolving certain things, the things that you really wanted to have here. That's why my karma reading is for, just to see, basically you can go to the next stage. So whenever you see these cards, then I say, okay, I'll just go with a new karma reading just to see what is like now the new assignment kind of like thing. It's almost like Mission Impossible. There you get this new cassette and then it gets burned, and then kind of like things need to be done. So this is all good, and that means something is turning in your favor. That means you're going to feel really accomplished and really happy about yourself for doing that. Maybe conquering some demons if you wish. So the next one is Gemini. So let me just put here. So you guys are that Mercury. So Mercury retrograde kind of like does affect you always, almost always negatively. And I guess this is not fun, but like, I mean, why is affecting you negatively? Because even under normal circumstances, you feel like you have to think quick like that, and that's why you're so much fun when we can talk to you, because you're always very interesting and you're always kind of like really engaging. But when it comes to Mercury retrograde, it's just like too much stimulation. So let's see. Mercury, my Geminis. Gemini's messages. Gemini messages. Oop. We having here, Nine of Swords and the Magician. This is you. This is basically a Mercury here that is really showing up. And this is the third one. So you're getting two majors over here, guys. And two of these cards are not so much fun, but they kind of like come again to this 10, but altogether come to 13. So 13 is death. It's again this regeneration. It's again this kind of like moving forward. And it's almost like giving me how-to instructions for you. So this is that Mercury retrograde. You're like freaking messed up. You cannot find clarity. You cannot find in which direction to go. I call this card wash machine brain. I call this card, oh my God, you know, like, I mean, how, you know, whenever you think that you have some kind of solution, that something else goes, we cannot do it because of this and this, and you go, oh no, I have to start the whole process again. This can be crying at night, this can be overly affected, this could be the sharp words from somebody. It could be that just somebody is taking advantage of you, or somebody's maybe even coming through, but the way they come through is like that you feel that you have no power. You feel like it's not equal situation, and your earth sign, your air sign, for you this kind of situation never kind of like end well, which is really interesting, because then you're sliding into the Empress, and it's almost like telling you you need to master the strength of a sort, and with that strength you kind of start moving forward. But if you say no to anything that looks abusive, or that looks like communications are not there, or that looks like somebody's just like approaching you on their own terms, because Magician is like, I used to call this like a used car salesman, and then people had the revolt on my side. Oh, they're decent people. I mean, yeah, this is, I'm talking about a proverbial thing. I'm not talking about the decent people here. Somebody who is willing to tell you anything just to win the day, not the long term, just the day. So it's the person who is having a very short-term thinking coming over here to the front, right? So, but the Empress is talking about telling you that you need to regain your own strength. Very, very true if you are a female Gemini. If you're a male Gemini, it might be a mother. It may be somebody who might be there to serve and give you strength of some sort, right? So it's really interesting, because this really talks about the gentle principle. It talks about nurture through enjoying nicer things in life. So maybe you're going to buy yourself massage, maybe you're going to get yourself manicure, pedicure, where maybe you're just going to get new clothes. Like, it's generally not, it's okay during the Mercury retrograde getting all these things. It's really not good if you, for example, get plastic operation procedure or anything like that during these times. You're almost guaranteed you're going to look a little bit Batman-y kind of like, right? But the Empress means coming back on your feet, either on your own if you're female, or with the help of a woman who is going to nourish you, who is going to kind of give you that soft place to fall and sufficient love that you really need to do it. So if this is you, if you're female, then you need to give to yourself this love. Maybe you're simply addressing certain negative parts of yourself, and you also need to come to terms with that, and you need to say, okay, you know what, so this is also me. It sucks, I need to fight it, right? So each of our signs have good sides and have bad sides, so we all have to try to get exalted by fighting those bad parts of our signs. So this is kind of like starting maybe negative and giving you insight. Maybe I was watching last night the Australian movie with a guy who was a procrastinator, and the woman gave him quote unquote a gift where every few minutes he would move 1 year in the future, and all of a sudden he started seeing, like, I mean, his lifeline, but he just didn't see it as, you know, revision. He saw it, oh my god, I'm going to just, like, I mean, die within, you know, like, I mean, 40 minutes, and then seeing how the marriage is falling apart, how the friendships, like, I mean, how his friends are dying, and it's kind of like really kind of like that encompassing, and I actually see that a little bit in this reading. It was not a bad movie, it was nothing special, but if you want something that is gentle to watch it, I don't even remember what it's called, but just Google Australian, I guess romantic movie probably would be under that genre. It was really good, actually. I can look it up if anybody's really interested in what it is. So that was really interesting, my Gemini. So because it's also interesting because of the point of Mercury retrograde. So okay, let me remove this and pull the next one and see who is next on my personal reading level here. Since lots of you are here, let's see who is next. And I'm just going to ask when I'm done with moderators that all of you who are not moderators, that you lift your hand and you tell me that you are here. So I need to hear from what? Who is this? Steady Movement. Are you still here? Crystal Smith. Are you still here? Jenny Richardson. Are you still here? Ruth Gibson. Are you still here? I think these are in addition to us. And then I have GZAC66, Heidi Swatek, and Maria Lantry. If you're still here, guys, just say here, so that way Jennifer Schwab. Let me see who else are the new faces. Anything else? That's still Heidi. I saw it. And then I have B and CF for C for yourself. B and C for yourself. If you're still here, just say hi. You guys also need to engage in order to become moderators if you want to do it. Okay, Heidi's still here. I see her confirming because I don't want to just, it's exhausting for me reading. So why to read if you guys are not there? So let's see which moderator is next. Oh, I think Chris is next. Let's go with Chris. Chris time. Oh, no, this deck. Chris. Let's see what I see here. Chris. Ooh, you're also getting Nine of Swords and Page of Swords. Do you have a Gemini, or is that Mercury retrograde? But look at that. It's going to verbal jousting for you in the upcoming time. Oh my gosh, you're getting so many cards here. And there is a crow over here. So this is kind of like where you feel comfort in dealing with things this way. But this is really interesting. Somebody's going to call something, or this can be you feeling confused, feeling that, hey, you know, I can do no good, whatever I do, it's a mess, and maybe you're just going to even overreact, or somebody's overreacting. Page of Swords could be a child, somebody really having a verbal diarrhea. Page of Swords is like Literally all of us on a really bad day when we don't have a filter, we just want to tell people what we really think about them. So needless to say, this doesn't set a really good stage for collaboration in the future, because the future will come, and even though we emptied that whatever it was, the frustration, we did create a new problem. And so there is, like, here I'm seeing this reassessment. It's really interesting that we have the Hangman in between the Seven of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles, which is like a really grounding principle, and you have the Cross here. So this really tells me you're coming up with some thinking and strategy how to do certain things. Even at one point you're going to say, okay, honey, let it be your way. Let's see what you would do. You're kind of like, you tell me, kind of like, how would you like me to approach this? You actually, you're kind of like prospecting. You're asking for suggestions of different directions. The Hangman is literally releasing any willingness to control, and rather kind of like allowing just for a while to go with the flow of what the other person wants, right? Sometimes this comes when people are insecure and they really want to know that you're not doing any hanky-panky. Sometimes it really happens when you are at your wit's end. Why is it you're doing something wrong, where you think you're doing everything in everybody's best interest, right? But you are doing this really more or less for you to kind of like really gain an insight into somebody, because you're moving from Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of reshuffling of things. How do I do better, right? So you're kind of like really saying, well, this works and this works, but this doesn't work. So you're removing things that doesn't work in order for this bush to grow into a tree, right? And here you're really looking in the fine details. It's almost like you want certain things to grow. Maybe you want certain relationship. Maybe you're meeting somebody younger, and maybe that somebody younger is getting on your nerves, but you're seeing a potential over here, and you're saying, okay, let me go with the flow with this. But then you're also looking into the fine details. Okay, you know, because this is almost looking like a very mature kind of like level of dealing with it, from something that started like with almost like a tornado. You're kind of bringing this home, and you're kind of grounding the situation. So watch all your dots on your I's and cross your T's, and the devil is in the detail over here. So when you're doing the stage of just observing them, you're going to be looking in how you're kind of heading forward with the situation. So it's going to resolve really well, just like from something that is actually not going to have an amazing start. So that's where it's going to be really interesting. Okay, so here we have few people who did raise hands, so saving me for a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's see. This one is Virgo. Virgo. All right, and Virgo is also affected with Mercury, because you guys are also driven with Mercury. Jesus. It's going to be such a fun time to be, right, this time around. So let me just put a stamp for you, Virgos. So, okay, let's see. Virgos. Okay, Needing Yoga, I'll find that movie for you. I'll probably is going to be still in my Netflix kind of things. So we have Page of Swords, we have Page of Wands, and we have like Three of... and I didn't forget uploading the French for you. I just was dealing with this computer computer kind of like apocalypse over here. Oh, Virgo, you have 2 pages. So this talks about enthusiastic new energy. It's about speaking your truth and going with it. It's literally kind of like going back to the basics over here. This is really not much into this combination, right? It talks about being enthusiastic. It talks about getting free for something. It's like one looks back, one looks forward, which is very interesting. The air looks back, and we have here a whole bunch of crows, kind of like allowing the truth will set you free. It's almost like coming to mind. But his Page of Wands is like somebody who is now putting things in action. So maybe he's all talk, no action, and this guy is now actually taking it to the next stage. There's like some kind of expertise that you can sell or that you can advertise, and you're being notified, sorry, you're being noticed, pardon me. You're being noticed, and noticed in a really, really good way. So it could be business communication, could be contacts, it could be some kind of like teamwork where you're going to be the lead on that team. And it's maybe you needed to cut somebody off, maybe you needed to put certain boundaries of a sort in order for this to move forward, or maybe you're just about to do that, because this will usually happen very, very soon. And this also means that you're not going to get everything that you want. There are certain things that you need to quote unquote swallow, but it's going to basically happen for the long term as a long-term solution. So it's going to be really interesting. But it's really, really, I love this card. I like a few cards in the deck that I really love, and this is one of them. And also he's sitting on this bench, so he's like literally higher than the others, showing how much work is really needed. So you also need to be a storyteller when you're presenting something. It's not going to be enough to say, well, yeah, I have expertise in blah 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 blah. It's going to be a story, because the story you just, for example, I was like recently presenting at work. Well, this is how the new website will look like. I could have just put a slide and that could be it. But I just felt this is not going to serve properly, because we went such a long way. It was like such a rocky road. So I went back and I was like milking this 20 minutes of this is what we had. This is what was the pain. I reminded them all of that in order to bring them to that release and happiness. And I even saw tears in some people's eyes. So there's like something like that that you guys will need to do. And that's going to be very, very important over here. Is that one cat? Yeah, let's see. I don't know, for some reason when I have... Oh, I think I have a visitor. I don't know if Amazon is releasing it today. Long story short, yes, that's the one. Okay, just give me guys a second. I have to see what is the alarm. Tiggy! Who that? Who that? Who that? Huh? What's going on? You're all nervous. Was it a bird? Ah, anyway, it's not horrible, because usually he drags me to kind of like see somebody. So then the next one, I have to see who is next. Barbie, I did Kylie. Creative Guru, I didn't do you, right? So you're going next. Creative Guru. Creative Guru. Oh, we have flickers. We have flickers. Oh, did you not see it? Oh, there it is. Oh, we have 8 of Swords. What is stopping you? There's like some barrier, or you feel that you reached a glass ceiling or glass wall. There are some circumstances that you're not really happy with. Maybe you have perceived enemies. Oh my God. There's like something that is really, really going on over here. Look at that. You have like 10 of Swords reversed and 8 of Swords. So that could be a situation where you really felt blocked, and maybe has lasted for a while, and kind of like coming to the door. You know, it's one of those situations, like, you know, trying the same things over and over is a definition of insanity. But in this particular combination, it simply means, no, in this situation, you simply need to go in a certain sequence to release certain obstacles, right? So there are 8 and there are 10 swords here. So there's a perception of the enemies. They're not there. They left you behind, but like you still have the fear, and you still have apprehension of what the future brings, right? And here the verse came true. Somebody really did backstab you, kind of a thing. So when this reverses, you're pulling all of these swords, and each of them hurts. So it's just kind of like there's like something possible. And look at it, they're like also 18. It could be some kind of jealousy. Somebody was jealous and somebody created a situation out of jealousy and maybe set you up. And you know, you can live with this. You can be blindfolded with this. And it usually happens when this is in the family. You really don't have much options. But you can also pull each and every sword and kind of like you're a Scorpio, right? So you guys, you don't mind doing that, and you can say, okay, it's going to bleed a little bit, it's going to hurt, but it's going to be on the way of healing. It's not going to be anything that is happening. And sure it is. You are like kind of like sitting back on your throne. There is a protection of a sort, and you're putting a little bit more of a shield. Look at him. He's all in his armor over here. But he is looking like almost like there's like maybe something you need to do for the possible protection of your children as well. There's like something that maybe you sacrificed yourself in order to accomplish something, or somebody was pushing you in a corner and you maybe almost like went to self-destruct, or you will go to self-destruct situation. But that is done, and this is the Scorpionic nature. You kind of like sting yourself in the situation, but there is like this new rebirth, new love, new life, where everything actually really works out properly. So there is like really interesting over here that I see here. Okay, so that's interesting. And then we have Cancer and Aries left. So let's see which one is next. Next one is Aries. I guess Cancer will have to be last. Let me pull the, oh, I left the thing over there, so one, so it's going to be Aries. Let me just put a stamp over here. All right, Aries, let's see. Slowly getting there. Aries, 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 Aries. Oh, what? Nothing, nothing. No messages for Aries. Aries, Aries. You're getting over COVID, Heidi? Oh my God, you poor thing. How was it? I had few friends who got it over the holidays, and it was not fun. It looks like they got the Omicron variant. Okay, Aries. Interestingly enough, you're moving into a new phase, even though the previous phase is not fully finished. You're kind of setting new goals, and new goals are something concerning your children, or concerning something that will be your child. Could be a project of a sort, could be some kind of investment that all falls into child category. It's really interesting that we have this like Nine of Pentacles reverse. It's almost like you didn't take time for certain things to enjoy them yourself, right? It's kind of like it's also 15. It's temptation of maybe overspending or overdoing or going in the wrong direction. But ultimately everything adds to 16, which is Tower. And this is the Mercury retrograde. It's something connecting to children in your case, or something connecting to possibly, yeah, I always see that as a high school friends, as an elementary school friends, as friends that we grew up with, somebody from the past, somebody you didn't see in a while. There's like some kind of contact, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, somebody creeping up from the woodwork kind of a thing, right? And it's not really coming to you at the best time, because you wanted to kind of like feel some sense of accomplishments, a sense of accolades. But this kind of like takes over that center stage for some reason, but it's actually good, because it kind of like also reminds you of something that is really important, that was important to you. Like, hey, you know, when you were in school, you always wanted to be a teacher, and then you realize, hey, you know, I really wanted to do these seminars, I don't know, for my city or something, and yet I am just putting one foot in front of another. And you are Aries, and you have that energy, even though look at it, no fire is showing up, but what is showing up is here, slow and steady wins the race. So you are setting up some kind of grounds. You're saying to yourself, you know what, I owe it to myself. I need to do it. I have to do it. I have to go in this direction. So there's like this Ace of Pentacles. You're laying that beginner stone. But this is like the one that it is going, that you know, that you're dedicated to yourself, that every day you're going to do another and another and another and another. And it's going to be very important to look at in that direction. So, wow, what can I say, Aries? This is like a really positive development, and you need to start living your dream. And sometimes comes late, that knocks on our door to remind us, but dream is a dream, and we really need to look in that direction. So that is very, very important. So okay, so let's see who is next. Do we still have any mods that I omitted, or can I move on to the other? Kylie, I did yours. Credio Guru, I did. I think I did all the mods. If I didn't do any, if I forgot any mod, please raise your hand. So now I'm moving on to, let me see who raised their hand. They're here. Heidi, Maria, and B, and see for yourselves. So okay, so start with Heidi. Heidi, your other guys, you guys, if you want it, you need to say that you're here. Otherwise, I'm not going to waste my energy. So you need to stay around. Sorry, it's just 2 hours every other week. So, Heidi, you're having King of Pentacles. This one wanted to go with Justice. Are you getting married? Is somebody proposing to you? Like, this is like a very strong combination to indicate that there could be getting some kind of contract, there could be even getting money, but not winning money, getting something that can be lucrative, sort of a thing, right? Let's get one more here for you. And you have a Queen of Pentacles. So this could be marriage. This is literally, that could be marriage. And that can be coming if you're married already. Maybe you're going to renew your vows. I can see it this way. Or it could be 2 people who are married that somehow they're coming together, and it's somehow that's going to be extremely important because it's being raised in your life as an important event. So what else can I tell you? It's going to be an onset of bounty in your life. But you'll also need to listen to your mentors, and you'll have some people who will be guiding you along the path. And some contracts could be signed, or it could be including some kind of like legal things, or it could be including some kind of like sacrifices, but it's going to feel good. It's going to feel accomplished. So this is kind of like all going to be working well. So it is. And I think the last one is Cancer. No, did we not? Oh, we did read Cancer. We did read Cancer. Did we read Cancer? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Did I not read Cancer? So then where the heck is my Cancer? Guys, did we read Cancer? Let me see. Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio. No, we didn't read Cancer. So where is my little thingy for Cancer? It just vanished. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's do Cancer. But at least we know which one it is. Otherwise, it will be all the time last. I need to figure out where did that one go. And maybe it's time to do the fresh ones as well. So, Cancer it is. I don't think I did it. I don't remember it. So, let me just put here the stamp. And then I'm going to do everybody I still didn't do, and then we are going to do again mods, angel cards, and then we are going to do the doors. So just to give you what goes in my head. So Cancer. Let's see your last today. You have the 8 of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Cups. I'm in reversed. You have 9 of Cups. And you have like 7 of Pentacles. Really interesting. You're going from 8 to 7 and going from 10 to 9. Isn't this typical Cancer? You go out, you test the territory, something scares you, you go back to your safety. And that's how it looks over here, right? It looks to me that there's like something, there's like a disturbance in a kind of like domestic front. There are some issues. There are certain things that were not really fully baked. There's something half-baked process, and it's really not going well. It's kind of like cracking at its seams. you're putting the brave face. You're saying to everybody, yeah, everything is fine. It's all good. But it isn't good, right? And then it finally hits you that, hey, you know, if I'm not good within this family setting, let me see what I can do to make myself happy. So you're kind of like pulling yourself out a little bit, out of operation, out your space. Maybe you're just reading a book. Maybe you're just drinking a glass of wine of some sort. Maybe you're just figuring out, reconfiguring out possibly how to do things, because you're going from this 8, which is the final touches on something, to okay, so let me see where I went wrong. Let me see. So this is actually very wise if you really think about it. It's kind of like, let's go step back. Let's go to the last step where something worked in order to move forward. So this is like very, very wise, my dear Cancer. So 19, 27, 34. So the whole flavor is 7, which is also emphasized in this card as well. And 7 is also Chariot. 7 is also the card that represents Cancer, which really talks about dedication, which really talks about feeling secure inside. The inner world is going to be very, very rich. Your inner world is going to be giving you certain insights, but you also need to kind of stop and reward yourself from time to time, which is going to be really important. However, I really have to tell you that over the next couple of months, those rewards will be on the individual basis, because you might not find the peace and you might not find this refuge within the family setting, and the family setting usually makes you very happy. So that is you, Cancer. Sorry I didn't get much better news, but this is also good to kind of be prepared and kind of like have some kind of like action, how to go further. All right, so let's see who is next. So it was Heidi, I think, and then who also said Maria Lantry. Let's see, Maria. Let's see what I see for you, Maria. Maria, I see 8 of Pentacles. Oops. I see the Page of Pentacles reversed and King of Swords. Maria, what sign are you? 8 of Pentacles is like looking after details. It's very important. Whenever you see this Pentacles, and this is a page, it's reversed. Like there's like something, it's telling me that you need to go back and relearn something, or learn something, rather to say. That there's like something that you are going to not succeed because of lack of preparation. And that lack of preparation for you simply could be that something is going to be out of scope of your, like over your head, over your pay grade, kind of a thing, right? Because it's coming in front of King of Swords, especially if you have, let's say, a lawsuit or some kind of case or some kind of mediation coming ahead of you. You need to be better prepared. You need to have all the documentation prepared. Otherwise, it's going to expose you as somebody who actually is not doing the job properly. King of Swords always brings fairness. So it's going to be fair to say if somebody else was doing better than you did. So be prepared, or kind of like roll up your sleeves and go and see what kind of details are needed over here, because this King of Swords can be your best friend or can be your worst enemy, like even though he's upright. So kind of like you need to get ready that you have maybe competition in the matter, and the competition could be better prepared than you are. And if they are going to win the situation. Sorry to say. Jenny, I am purposely leaving you last. Just want to see, because you're going through that issues, and you're also getting 8 of Pentacles. It's telling me that there are like lots of details that have to be done. Look what you're getting. Look what you're getting. Like, is anybody having a goosebumps, or this is just me? You're getting 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, High Priest, and Death. So now we have High Priest and Death. It's telling me that somebody left you a legacy, and that legacy is going to be something that you really need to honor, that you really need to deal with. So it's really not, it's basically pushing you in a situation, saying, okay, you know what, sure, this is just a new start. It's a kind of like new boost. And it was a reason why you have been last. For a reason, you have been convey certain things that are going to be important to you. But that is upright, so it doesn't really talk about suffering. It really talks about that this person did transfer to a different energy mode, right? And that energy might be there to help you, and it can be coming to you through churches. It could be coming through you through clergy. It could be coming through you through some, let's say, corporate leaders. So you're going to find a really huge kinship with somebody like that. So this is also Taurus, and this is Scorpio. Could be even that. This is kind of like a fire where you're going to feel. Queen of Wands can also be a lawyer-like a creature where she's kind of like balancing things, and she's able to simplify things to a point that people can actually understand, that she doesn't loop too many details where people kind of like lose concentration or something. So there is like some kind of like a mainstream of some sort that you need to grasp and move it to the future, as this is kind of like really important, right? So there's like 26, there's like some kind of like commitment that actually needs to happen, and maybe you have been asked over and over repetitively by this person to do something, and maybe you have hesitated, or maybe it was not the right time, maybe you need certain things. At this stage, I think you're moving forward. There's like no longer hesitation. It's almost like karmically going to be pushed around. And it also talks about there is going to be that soul that evolved so quickly somewhere within somebody who is going to very soon, you're going to notice a quantitative shift in somebody in your environment, because that person is going to get the soul. Was it a grandfather? And you're going to recognize that and just follow that lead. You know, like in the Matrix, follow the white rabbit. So for you, it's going to be follow that lead. So it's going to be really, really important. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have? Who else do we have here, guys? Is there anybody who is not the moderator that is still here? You please raise your hand. In the meantime, I'm just going to do the mods angel cards. So where do we start? Where do we start? Let's go knitting yogi. You're getting tenderness. You know, spend time with your doggos, with your catos. Allow, oh, look at that, there's like something in here. Allow yourself to kind of like exercise the gentle part of you, and it's going to be really interesting. So that's important. I'm just trying to remember. I'm just going by memory right now. Who was next? Kylie. Inspiration. Like there is like she'll send me a lovely picture of her daughter painting with a cat ears on. So maybe you're going to start of some sort. That is going to be really interesting here as well. So Shamika, I do not answer questions on this general reading. For that, it's a private reading. I can take some cards, but that's just a general reading, which means what Spirit wants to give it to you, but it's not focused on this. Let me just go Creative Guru, Creative Guru, Creative Guru. Flexibility. So are you doing some kind of yoga classes? I was like for a moment stop because I was thinking this is knitting yogi. And did I do a knitting yogi? I think I did, right? Maybe just simply means in kind of like wiggling around some situation that something is going to needing to be kind of like done in a certain way. So that's going to be interesting. Barbie. Healing. Look at this. One is blindfolded, like kind of like, and has the arm also in a cross or folded. So you're feeling at a half mast, if you wish. So you need to allow others to help you. That's what I would say over there. Who else I didn't do here? Creative Guru. Did I do you? I don't know if I didn't feel I didn't. Creative Guru. Kindness. Be kind to others because the energy comes back. Then Lynn Westbrook. Lynn Westbrook. Obedience. Make sure you follow the rules. There's like some kind of training happening for you for some reason. Then let's go Lorna H. Lorna H. Adventure. Just, you know, trigger a little bit kind of like things in you that can kind of like create a little spice in your life. I think maybe in a while you didn't do it. Heck, most of us during this pandemic are not that intrigued. Chris, you are getting education. There's like something you're learning. There's like something, maybe you're educating, maybe you're the one giving the lessons because you just want to kind of like create something that is more orderly, if you wish. And what else do I have here? What did I forget? I don't think I have anybody over here, do I? For my mods. Lynn Westbrook, did I do you? Forgiveness. Forgiveness. You need to let go of something, not for them, but for you. In order for energy to kind of like soar, it's really, really important that comes through. And I think I did all my modes now. Let me just see. I'm going through it, going through it, going through it. If I forgot anybody, please raise your hand and I will address you promptly. It was lots of conversation here today, and like I need to be and see for yourself here. I think if you're still here, please raise your hand. And Heidi said I was vaccinated, boosted, but it was still pretty bad. Oh my God, I feel so bad for you who did all of that. Sheesh. I'm still scrolling down. But Barbie, you're homesick. Oh, my boss came to work, got us all sick. Now she's working this weekend for me. Healing is needed. Oh my gosh. So sorry to hear. Let's send some healing energy, like as Heidi just said. Okay, so what was this lady? Shamika. Shamika, let me pull a card for you. And this is kind of like example of how you should never ask questions. When my person will come back to me. It's like kind of like you're telling universe, I know better, right? So this is where you really need to let go of control, and because this person might not come back. And it might be in your best interest. So let me see, Shamika, what is the card you get? And you get the Nine of Wands. It's telling you to persevere in whatever you're doing. But it's also saying that you need to be a little bit guarded as well. This is also usually a card of healing of some sort. It was a rough path of getting there of some sort, but you're almost coming to the end of the road. This is saying to keep going, but it's saying do not keep going forever. Just make one more attempt to remedy something in order to get there, right? And Maria, I did you, right? I did your cards as well. So I think we are back now on our doors. Oh my gosh, look at this, like right at 2 o'clock. So we are like right on the dot doing the things. Okay, so I'm still doing this under Cancer. But let me cover this for a second, and we are going to do the doors, or I should probably do, that's fine. Let's do the doors. Again, think about a question, guys, different one than the one that you had before. And I should probably put the timestamp. That kind of like would help. Let me see. Think about your question. It cannot be the same because you already got the answer for the previous one. Okay, the door number 1 I have. You're welcome, Barbie. Thank you for being here and thank you for all your help. And I have 2 and 3. Let's lift the veil over here and see. So the door number 1, who here. Pick door number 1. I did. And we have Two of Swords. A Two of Swords, she's blindfolded. She's trying to reach decision. Decision is really tough. They're like appealing. Look at, like when you look at the details, everything seems to be even. It's almost like I cannot do it. Imagine you have 2 jobs that you need to choose from. They have the same pay, same conditions. So you're like literally blindly needing to pick something. So Two of Swords means that you're going to feel that you picked the wrong one no matter what you do. So hell, go ahead, itty bitty too, kind of a thing, right? So I would just say this: if you are a water sign, pick with your heart. If you are air sign, pick with your analysis. If you are the other 2 groups, like the fire or the earth, I mean, pretty much pick anything. It's just like, I mean, this is to give you peace of mind that things are going to eventually work out, but that you'll always feel that the other choice would be better. So the door number 2 over here, we have 5 of Swords. And I would say this is a victory, but this is not a victory, something that is a lasting victory, because it's a victory over the back of somebody else. It will take several things to come to a point, as they're showing, in order for things to happen. A 5 of Swords generally talks about Pyrrhic victory, where we kind of like generally take advantage of others, or we are so much stronger. We are like fighting in a category, like, you know, like we are like coming to the math competition for the first graders, kind of a thing, right? So this is not so much of the win, and we shouldn't really relax, because somebody else is going to come and challenge us. So be careful of the results you get here, because they might not last, kind of a thing. And here we go. Here's 8 of Swords, the number 3, and there's like a clearly barrier in a situation. Somebody is non-responsive, or somebody is basically saying that this could be a third-party situation here as well, and you feel like blocked out or walled out. And this is really talking about you needing to relieve. Look at this, we got 2 cards with the blindfold. So the second kind of questions that you guys ask seem to be more quantitative and more important than I would say the first one. First one is fun, and we always need to kind of like get something to come our way, and we're all getting our wish from the first round. But in this round, pretty much, even though those wishes could come true, they come at a cost, and they also come as a product of certain controlling issues, right? Look at it, they're all swords, and they're all coming as a product of our thinking. It's not so much that we have been moved and kind of like moved in a certain kind of direction. It's rather than we almost like manipulated them to happen. And 8 of Swords, it also means that you have been manipulated into staying still in a situation, and you're feeling very uncomfortable. So you really need to, especially whoever talk about 3, reassess the situation. So that is very, very important. So Chris is a cook here. Let me see, what did I miss here? What did I miss? Kylie, the position is vacant, has been for some time. Oh, poor Chris. Well, what happened to the Scorpio lady? I thought you're going to end up being married, so that's kind of interesting. So that would be nice if you send us recipes. Oh my goodness, that would be awesome. And yes, I also join in. Like I hope you find somebody who's going to really resonate. And also, guys, if you didn't get your annual, I'm actually having a space now. I cleared quite a bit of them, almost like 90% over that block out time that I had. So I have a little bit more energy, a little bit more space to deal with this. And the next live you're going to have in 2 weeks. I'm going bi-weekly, and it's going to be bi-weekly until spring. Then spring we're going to do more often, every week other than holidays. And then summer again, I'm going back to bi-weekly. I was even thinking doing once a month, but I just want to see you more often in the winter than that. So guys, you know that I love you. Thank you so much for showing up in spite of like YouTube trying to make this not happen. I love you, and I am looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. And if anybody wants, if Kylie, you want Chris to send, he can email it to me. I can forward it to you. I mean, Chris can say, do you want me to keep his email private or not? But if he feels comfortable releasing the recipe, sure, it will be so cool. Like that California recipe ends up in Australia. It will be so nice. I don't think Chris will be moving anywhere. I think he loves where he is. He feels really comfortable in his home and just like feeling a very strong. I know he's Capricorn, but I'm generally seeing Chris as strong Tauran energy, so that's very nice. Love you guys. I hope this was fun. I hope this is a little bit different. I'm going back to snow shoveling, and hopefully by the next time over, I'm not going to be entirely snowed in. Love you. All the best. I'll see you on the 22nd. Take care.